John 15:19 through 13 says, As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. Now please listen as I read. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments, and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you. The world is full of miserable people.
Yes. Right. Yes.
In church, out of church, other countries, our country. It seems like we get joy for just a second or two, and then it just seems like it's got legs or wings or a rocket. And before we know it, it's gone. Where did it go? I do not know. So we begin to look for so many other things, thinking maybe it's landed there.
All right.
And so he says here, Jesus says that my joy might remain in you. Because if it remains in you, he goes on to say, and that your joy might be full.
Amen.
If I have his joy, then my joy is complete.
Yes.
But if I don't have his joy, I can never fulfill my joy. No matter what I do, how much money I make, how much possessions I have, even if I have the greatest, which I do, wife in the world, it will still not complete my joy. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Here is the key to joy.
Yes. Yes.
Amen.
There is no other key but this one. If I can love you as he's loved me,
Yes.
then his joy will remain and my joy will be complete.
Yes.
And then he goes on to say something that is so powerful. We've heard it so much. I'm telling you, greater love hath no man than this,
Yes.
that a man lay aside his life, his own desires.
Yes.
That's what it means in the Greek for his friends. So there's no way I can love you unless I'm willing to lay aside my own dreams,
Yes. All right.
my own wants,
Yes.
my own desires, my own ambitions,
All right.
my own pride.
Yes.
If I don't lay aside me, there's no way I can love you as he loves me.
All right. Yes.
And so I want to try to leave the thought that God showed me, and I've got a clearer understanding than I've ever had. Have you ever read or heard a preacher talking about taking up your cross?
Yes.
Well, we're going to learn what that means, because I've heard it and I really didn't know. Yeah, we think of suffering, don't we? Well, some of you think loving one another is a lot of suffering. That's not what it means. Because you have to take this in context with the cross of Calvary.
Right.
And so you have to understand what Jesus did, showing greater love. It wasn't so much that he suffered. It wasn't so much that he was beaten, even though he was. It was that he was willing to lay aside his life. It was whipped.
Hallelujah.
You know it was hard, because in the garden,
Right.
he had some difficult moments, friend. He didn't have anybody helping him, anybody watching with him. He was all alone. Woo! It was getting to the point where he was fixing to take the sins of the whole world upon himself, which was going to cause a temporary separation of a relationship with his Father from his humanity.
Right.
For the first time in his life, he didn't know what it was like not to feel the presence of God, not to have his Father speak to him in his humanity.
Right.
Right.
So he was willing to say, just for you, I'm going to lay aside
Hallelujah.
the rest of my life. I'm only 33 years old.
Wow.
I don't think life expectancy in those days was 33 years old. I'm going to lay aside everything that I might want. Did he not say in the garden, Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me?
Right.
Nevertheless, I lay aside.
Yes.
Nevertheless, I lay aside my life. That way Jesus took up his own cross by laying aside his own desires, his own wants, and began to love the world that really didn't love him.
Glory.
What glory, what reward is it to love those that love you?
Right. All right. Amen.
What kind of relationship do you think God would have with you if you just say, well, it's easy to love this one, but I'm having difficulties with this one? He says, well, until you can love that one, you can't really love me.
Right.
Wow.
Taking up your cross. John 21 and 15.
So when they had dined, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my
Now,
lambs.
we've all heard this. I preached on this. He said this 3 times to Peter. This was after he was resurrected. And he was sitting around feeding them, and he said to Peter, Peter, do you love me? Peter said, just like we would say, Yea, Lord, I love thee. Then feed my lambs. And then feed my sheep. And then he got greedy. Peter got greedy. Because Jesus asked him the 3rd time. I wonder how many times Jesus has asked me.
All right.
Lovest thou me more than these?
Come on.
Yea, Lord, you know I love you. Then feed my lambs.
All right.
Now see, immediately you're thinking about preaching and you're thinking about teaching. But what Jesus was actually doing here, the way the Lord showed me, he was sitting around some men, feeding them. They went fishing because they didn't know what else to do. He wasn't condemning that. But what he was trying to get to Peter to understand, Peter, if you lovest me, then all these things you want to do has to be second.
All right. All right. Yes.
It wasn't just the people that because he was telling them, feed them. It wasn't the people, lovest me more than these. It wasn't just the other disciples. It was the things that Peter wanted to do. It was the things that Peter had in his own heart to do. It was his own desires, his own dreams. Peter, lay aside them if you love me. Lay aside all of these and feed them. Teach them. Be with them. But the main thing he was saying, Peter, lay aside your life and love them.
Amen.
When the church becomes inward, they stop growing. But when the church stays outward,
Yes.
you can't help but grow.
All right.
Because you're loving people more than you're loving you. And you're loving people more than you care about you. And you're loving people more than you care about what's happening to you, what's not happening to you, how you feeling, how you're not feeling. You've got to deny yourself and take up your cross. Humble yourself. You don't matter. Really you don't. And begin to love people. And all of a sudden when you begin to do that genuinely, all of a sudden you find his joy remaining. And the next thing you know, you start feeling better about yourself. You start saying, wait a minute, God just used me to help that person. God just used me to get that person in church. We got to start thinking outside the church. You know we're not. Occasionally we'll invite somebody, thank you. Occasionally you have folks that you're working with, thank you. But what about the folks we see every single day?
That's right.
Are we so caught up with our own dreams, whatever they may be, promotions, money, relationships, school,
Come on.
All right.
that we have become so inward that we couldn't carry the cross anymore because it got in the way? We only have 2 hands. Have you ever tried to carry in a bunch of groceries? And if you carry too much, what happens? And they have to be the eggs that drop, don't they? Right? Don't matter how they pack them, you drop them, they're going to break.
Right.
And so you realize, I can't handle anymore here. My plate's full. I've got a full life. Jesus has blessed me. I got all this going. Instead of laying down your dreams,
Amen.
your bag of groceries,
All right.
you lay down the cross and you want somebody else to carry it for you.
All right.
You know something? Love covers. Oh, somebody quote it for me.
Love covers a multitude of sins.
Wow! Love covers a multitude of iniquity. My goodness gracious, if I can just concentrate It's amazing to me, the only way I can pick up something is to bend.
All right. Yes.
I can't pick up the cross like this. I'm walking good. I got it together. Everybody else has got some problems with me. Oh, I got it going. There's no way I'm going to get that cross.
That's right. That's right.
And you know something? I don't want to hurt my back.
All right.
So I got to squat down here and live with my legs. It's almost like I'm kneeling.
All right. All right.
And maybe sometimes I got to get real down to it so I can get a hand under the cross because you know, I got to get real, and I got to pick it up. You know, and I can't just come straight up.
Right. Right.
Oh no, I got to do some leverage and then I got to pick up. It's not his cross, it's my cross. And when I pick up my cross, I stayed on the ground, and the cross of Christ, the cause of Christ, which is loving one another, redeeming mankind. Come on, now I got it. Now when I go around, I got a heart that says, wait a minute, you know something? I really don't care what they did, doing, or will do. I owe no man nothing but to love him. Listen. In Luke 7:36-48, I don't have time to read it all, but Jesus went into a Pharisee's house and ate with him. It was Simon the leper, I do believe. And this woman in the city who was a sinner heard that Jesus was in this Pharisee's house. And she came in and she brought an alabaster box of ointment. You know the story. And stood at his feet, behind him weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and wiped them with her hair of her head, kissed his feet, and anointed them with ointment. And then, of course, Simon got very upset, because if Jesus was a prophet, he should have known this woman was a sinner. And so Jesus asked him something. There was a certain creditor which had 2 debtors. And one owed 500 pence and the other 50. When they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me, therefore, which of them would love the most? Well, this Pharisee had the right answer, the one that was forgiven most. And Jesus said, you judge correctly. He that is forgiven much, loveth much. He that is forgiven little, loveth little. That's what happens to us apostolics.
Right.
When we first come into the church, we are so grateful that God has forgiven us. But then when we get our act together, we begin to learn. We begin to learn how to live, how to talk, how to walk, how to dress. We forget where He found us, how much He's really forgiven us, and our love begins to get little and little and little, because now we begin to love our world more than His world. It's a wrong transformation. Why is it that some seem to be more committed than others? It's because you got something they don't have? No. It's because they remember where God brought them from. They remember the love of God that brought them out of sin and hopelessness and on a path to hell. It's those that really have forgotten what God had done for them. They made light of it. That's why we have certain people that had once testified, oh, I'm so glad God did this, kept me out of jail, or did this and did that, or gave me a promotion at job. And the next thing you know, you look up and they're not here. Why? Because they really didn't love God at all. They forgot how much God really did for them. But they counted it little. Therefore, they love it little. But in my life, honey, the reason I cannot miss church, the reason I got to come, the reason I got to preach, the reason I got to pray, the reason is that there is more than just my life. God has forgiven me much. Therefore, I love Him much. There's not a day that goes by that I understand what a wretch of a man that I am. And only by the grace of God I am what I am. It's only by the love of God that I stand before you preaching. No way I can qualify myself.
Amen.
There's not enough degrees that could earn being called.
Right.
Why do you think the Apostle Paul kept bringing up what he did on the road to Damascus? Because he didn't want to forget the mercy of God. That God loved him so much, forgave him of being a murderer of the church of the living God.
Right.
No wonder he was on fire for God. No wonder he told it like it was. No wonder he traveled the world trying to reach one more soul. because he was focused outward, not inward.
Yes.
Listen to me right now. The devil cannot stop you when you are focused outward.
Yes. Amen.
And the devil didn't stop you when you focused inward. You did.
Right. Right. Yes.
The devil just used it and said, well, no, you really can't get involved too much more because you're just too busy. You got too much things going on in your life. You got too much you want to accomplish. I understand we got to work, and I understand there's school, and I understand all of this, but there's some place we've got to put Jesus.
Yes. Amen.
He's not here, he's not anywhere. If I get outward, the sky's the limit. There's not a soul that can't be saved. But when I'm inward, I'm like Chicken Little. I get one little trial. It's over. I'm gone. I'm doomed. I'm going to hell. Well, I better get to the owl.
Yes.
I better get to somebody with some wisdom and find out it was just an apron that fell from a tree. It was just a momentary trial. It wasn't the end of the world. It bounced right off of me. I'm still walking. The sky's still blue. The sun's still rising. My God still sits on the throne. All I got to do is be sure I didn't lose my cross. Woo! You cannot carry the cross without denying your dreams.
All right.
As soon as I say that, you think, well, Pastor, I can't have a dream of getting married. I can't have a dream of... I didn't say that.
That's right.
But I'm saying that dream cannot supersede
Right.
Amen.
Yes.
your burden to the Lord.
Yes. Amen.
If you're going to school, how many of you invited?
Come on.
If you got a new job, how many of you talked to?
Right.
I remember when I was a new convert long ago. And I started losing weight. And I was working in the city of LaPorte. And I went in, and you know, when you lose weight, people notice. It's amazing. They notice. And they're going to call me. Now the opposite, when you gain weight, they're going to notice. But most of the time they're not going to.
Right.
So use that spiritually. When I lose the weight of sin that's so easily beset us, people know. But when I got so much weight of sin, people notice, but they're not going to say nothing because they're comfortable where you're at. It's when you lose sin, they're not comfortable around you. You make a difference when you're in their environment. Anyway, this is a true story. I was losing weight, just got into truth. I was losing weight. I don't remember how many pounds I was losing, and I went into work one day and somebody said, "What? You're losing weight?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Are you trying?" That's what they always say, because they want to know what you're doing.
Right. Right.
Stop right there. When you lose the weight of sin, they're going to want to know what you're doing.
All right. Yeah.
Church, we got to get outward. We got to get outward. There's souls dying and going to hell. All our problems are going to be solved in the name of the Lord. The day of the Lord comes, we're going to be caught out, and all our problems are going to be left behind. Get back to my story. And they said, well, "You doing something special?" I said, "No, I'm just living for God."
Amen.
Stop spending money, trying to lose weight.
Yes.
Live for God. Oh,
Amen.
Pastor, what you talking about? It's amazing what fasting will do.
Amen. Amen.
Don't take a rocket science. If you don't put it in, it can't remain.
Right.
And your body's going to get rid of what you got. So if you keep up that, you're going to lose weight. Same thing applies to living for God. You don't bring it in, it can't remain.
Yes.
John 8:9, and when they heard this, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last, and Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. Here was a bunch of Pharisees and scribes that caught a woman in the midst of sin, and they brought him before the Lord, not because of the woman. They didn't care about the woman.
Right.
They
Right.
did not care about that woman.
Right. Right.
They wanted to tempt Jesus.
Yes.
They'd already known she was doing that long before Jesus was on the scene. And they didn't do anything about it then. They didn't bring her out in the street and stone her then, but they waited.
Right. Right.
And here comes a bunch of hypocrites.
Right.
This woman was caught in sin. Me, I'm a Pharisee. I'm a scribe. I write the Word of God every day. So Jesus, He ignored them. And then He said this, he that is without sin.
Right?
You know what their sin was? They didn't love that woman.
Right.
They didn't have to agree with what she was doing. But they could have brought her to Jesus to be delivered.
That's right. Yes.
That would have proved more than stoning her, wouldn't it?
Yes.
In other words, when you are really down on somebody, you're not doing them no good. But when you bring them, no matter how bad they are, and how you going to prove the Lord, here they are, the worst of the worst. But I love them, God, and I want them saved. What you going to do with them? I promise you, Jesus will wash and make them whole. I was one of them, such as some of you. It's amazing to me that they left.
That's right.
Because the eldest had more sin than the youngest because they lived longer.
Right. Yes.
You know that's right.
Yes.
And so they left. You know, in my mind, it doesn't say it, but in my mind, the stone they had in their hand was their own personal stone for their own personal stoning.
Yeah, come on. All right.
But they didn't want to be stoned for what they were doing.
That's right. Right.
They were too inward.
All right.
You see, Lord, I brought her to you. I brought him to you, Lord. Lord, I pointed that sin out. I told the pastor about it. You can't hide sin, friend. I'm going to tell you that.
That's
It's
right.
going to come out.
Yes.
And when it does, it's going to be ugly. I'm glad there's an altar.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Long ago, I got rid of my stones because I know I deserve them and I don't want nobody picking up my stones.
All right.
So I don't have those stones to stone anybody else because the only stones that I really need, all right, is a rock.
Yes. Amen.
Amen.
A chief cornerstone.
Yes.
It says here in Matthew 10, he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loses his life for my sake shall.
Amen.
Matthew 16 basically says the same thing. Mark 8 basically says the same thing. Luke 9 basically say the same thing. And then we get to Luke 17, 32 and 33. And here it says, remember Lot's wife.
Right.
Come on.
Right. Yes.
All right.
She was so inward. She should have been shouting on that hill.
Right.
Not taking a look back at Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right. That's right. That's right. Jesus. Jesus.
Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. And whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. What a message for me. Because I really never had a clear understanding of taking up my cross. Did you? How many here didn't really have a clear understanding? I got one today.
Yes. Amen.
It's simply this. Deny my desires.
Yes. Amen.
Take up the cross and get outward again. And care more about others than I do myself.
Amen. Amen.
And in doing so, I'll have joy.
Yes.
That's what you're after anyway.
Yes.
Every soul that is here wants joy and peace. There's not a person here, I don't care how old you are, how young you are, you want peace. You want joy.
That's right.
The only way you're going to get it and maintain it is understand, I'll do that. That's a nice thing to do as long as it doesn't get in the way of my service to the King.
All right.
Do you understand being outward? Do you understand what being outward means?
Jesus.
That you can't sleep when somebody next to you in a pew is no longer there.
Right. Right.
That every time God prompts, you call them, whether they answer the phone or not.
All right. Right.
I'll tell you an example in my own life of a preacher. I was preaching for him a year or more ago, and I preached for him several times and hadn't heard from him in a while. And he called me, and I went down there, and I was ministering and preaching, and everything was going very well to the altar call. People started coming up, and I was trying my very best to be led of the Spirit, and I was praying, and I was trying, and all of a sudden the pastor's daughter came up. Prayed for her, and she stood around the altar, and another person came up. Another young lady. And I was just about ready to pray for her when the Lord, I believe, spoke to my heart. You see, the pastor's daughter was not where she needed to be. I'd already said that in the service, and the pastor grew. I didn't call her name out by no means, but he knew and she knew. But here she was in the altar. The pastor's daughter. I was just about ready to lay my hands on a woman that was expecting a child. And I felt the Lord, why don't you let the pastor's daughter pray? Encourage her. Let her know she's got some value. I know she's not where she needs to be. But how can she get there if somebody doesn't reach out to her?
Amen.
Well, I did, and I could sense that I had made a mistake with the pastor. And I'm not judging him. I love him today. She prayed. And she prophesied. And others said that's right on target. That didn't make her right with God.
Right.
But do you understand what that probably did for her self-esteem? I don't think it said, well, I'm okay just where I'm at. I don't think so at all.
Right.
I called and called and called that pastor every time because I wanted to make it right with him. I love him. I wanted to say, I'm sorry. I was just doing what I thought the Lord wanted me to do. I was trying to encourage your daughter. Because I know these people. And I know how they think. They're good people, but I know how they think. Months he never returned my call, never answered my text. And recently the Lord brought it back to me, and I texted him because I just said, the Lord has laid you on my heart, and I'm praying for you. Nothing. So I did what God told me to do.
Right.
I'm reaching out to that man. Whether I ever see him again, I'm reaching out to that man. My soul depends on it as well. I got to be outward. I can't take the, well, bless God, he just hurt my feeling. I'm not even going to have anything to do with him, never answer my call, whatever. That can't be what God would do.
Right. Right.
And so a few days passed, and God brought it back up again. So I texted him again, and I said, I know you have a need, and I'm praying. This is over a year. Finally, the text came back. I appreciate your prayers, my brother. You got to deny yourself. Take up your cross. Love people. Not condone what they're doing.
Right.
Not run with sin. But I'm going to tell you, there is no hope for an individual that they don't feel love. They'll never come here.
That's right.
If they don't feel there's hope for them, they'll never stay. If they feel everybody's against them, they're walking out that door and they're never coming back. We have got to love them and let God deal with them.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
God will change their life when God is ready to change their life. I've learned something, and I've got to improve. I've got to improve. Time's running out. What will we do? We're without excuse now.